What is going on YouTube? Bryce Builds It All back with another video, and this time I'm going to do an oil change on the Velocity. Now, where was I going to go with that? This isn't really going to be a how-to, but I am going to show you some tips and tricks. Really how I do this airplane. Velocities are kind of weird being a pusher. They obviously have a cowling, but then there's another cowling inside, and you will see that here in a second. So let's get this cowling off. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is break torque with my nice PT screwdriver. This is actually a Husky. It fits aircraft tools perfectly. I've said this in other videos. But I'm going to go ahead and break torque on all of these, and then I'm going to get them out with a screwdriver or with a drill. All right, I'm followed up with this. This is just a Matco 12-volt drill. Some people call them an electric screwdriver. It's very small. It is, however, somewhat easy to break, to strip out screws with this. I do have a Husky tip and this one as well because, like I said, it fits the screws perfectly. But I always break the torque with a screwdriver first so that I don't accidentally strip something out. The next thing is to get these hinge pins out. This is something a lot of experimentals like to do. You'll see this a lot on RVs, but they'll take a piano hinge and then put a pin through it like that, just because it's fast and it's easy and it helps line up a cowling. So I'm gonna set that right there. I'm gonna rotate this propeller and get the other one. Please, 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 please be very, very careful when you're rotating a propeller. And what I mean by that is I'm gonna have to rotate this in the normal direction. So I'm gonna reach out here with my hand and very slowly and very gently turn it until it's clear, but I'm not putting any of my body in the path of that propeller arc because I don't want to lose anything. I don't want to lose a finger. I don't want to lose any of my body parts. So please be careful doing that. Okay. The Velocity is kind of weird. It has another one of those hinges up at the top, and I'll show you how to get that out here in just a second. But I found it works really well if you take a box or something and put it up on top of the engine baffling. So I'm going to raise it kind of like a hood. I'll put this box in there. I'll get the pin out, and then once the cowling's off, I'll actually show you how I did it. Now, obviously I have the engine taken off, but this is that engine baffling that I was talking about. And this is another one of those hinge pins that this hinge pin kind of sits in here like this. So I found when you put that box here, you can sort of reach up and unbind the cowling because it'll try to lean back and bind on this. So you can sort of reach up and unbind it and then just wiggle this and this pin will come out and then your cowling is free. And I'm gonna end up putting it back on the same way. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the lower cowling off camera because it's the same as the top. There's just some screws there and some screws around the bottom. Fortunately, it does have a lip so I can take all the bottom ones out. I can take all of these out except the last one and then just get this last one here on the very end and drop it. Pro tip, you don't have to do this. I've already cut the safety wire off of the filter. I haven't removed the filter, I haven't loosened it, but I have cut the safety wire because once this engine is really hot, it's not wintertime anymore and I don't want to stay warm. So I went ahead and got the safety wire out of the way since it's kind of difficult on this thing, so that all I got to do is put the socket on it and get the filter off. But pro tip, what I like to do is take all the tools that I'm using or going to use, and as I use them, I leave them out of the bag. Everything else goes back in the bag or in my socket set, but I know I'm gonna need a 1-inch socket. I know I'm gonna need an 11/16 wrench for that fuel line. I know I'm gonna need this little screwdriver, my safety wire pliers, my hammer, my big screwdriver, and my diagonal cutters. So as I'm using things, I pull them out of my bag and then I leave them out of the tool bag sort of organized on my workbench, or in this case, you know, my tailgate. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off, or not pull this off, I'm gonna pull this out, probably just right out here in front of the hanger. I'm gonna pull this out, I'm gonna run it, I'm gonna bring it back in, and I'm gonna get the oil through. The screens are very dark. I don't know how much of that you can see, but I'm sitting at 1100 RPMs, about 96 degrees oil temp. I really wanna see it at about 105 before I shut the engine off. But I'm gonna run it, let it get good and warm, let it cycle the oil through the system, and then we'll drain it. It was entirely too difficult to get it in the hanger. But now I'm gonna pop a hole in the top of the oil filter so that the oil in the oil filter can drain into the sump. And I'm gonna get the drain opened up as well in the sump. Oh, and I need to take a soap sample or an analysis sample. Now, the thing about a sample is you need to wait until about half the oil is drained out and then collect it. So I'm gonna do that. While that finishes up draining, I'm gonna get the oil filter ready by putting the date and takt time, 734.7. The owner, this is the most flown Velocity, probably one of the most flown airplanes I've ever worked on before, besides the flight school. This airplane flies close to 200 to 250 hours a year. The owner uses it kind of for work to go back and forth between 2 medical practices, so he flies it a lot. So anyways, that's besides the point. I've got the takt time on here, I'm gonna put the reg on it, and then I'm gonna get the old filter out and get the new filter in. Fortunately for us, the oil filter on this Velocity, or actually all aircraft oil filters, have a 1-inch socket. So I'm just gonna get this down in here and get it loose. Shouldn't be that tight. They're only torqued to like 14 foot-pounds. They don't get that tight to begin with. So anyways, but sometimes they like to seize. Now I will say that there is a way to keep them from seizing, and I'll talk about it when I put the new filter in. But let's get this old filter out of here. Come on now. Come on now. We got it. All right, we got it. No mess. Look at that. Okay, so Champion does say to use Dow Corning DC4, which is actually a electrical grease or engine oil. Now I don't have any DC4, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of engine oil and sort of smear it on this gasket. But something interesting to note, if you are using a Tempest oil filter, I didn't know this until just yesterday at my IA retraining, the Tempest oil filters have already got DC4 embedded into that rubber O-ring. So you don't need to put DC4 or oil on it. You just install it dry. Run it in. I'll go grab my torque wrench real quick and I will torque it since I can't exactly get my hand down on it. I lost my train of thought while I was working because somebody came by to say hello. So I had a conversation, but I got the oil filter in, torqued and safety wired. I got that fuel line back on and torqued, and now I'm putting oil in it. Now, if you want to say, buy a funnel, I mean, yeah, eventually, but this works just as well, if not better. So now, while this quart drains, I'm gonna very carefully climb up here, because it's the easiest way to do it, and I'm gonna safety wire this oil filter. Okay, so now that I got the camera in here, I'm gonna use this fitting right here, and I'm actually gonna pull up on this safety wire, and I'm gonna push the wire together, and I'm gonna start the first turn by hand so that it's nice and tight, and then I'm gonna come over to the filter right here. This is not fun. And done. Now, it would have been easiest to just go straight here, but it wouldn't have been correct. So sometimes it's harder to do it the right way, so I went to this back one and I pigtailed it there. But while that was going on, I got a few more quarts of oil in it. Oil's almost all the way in it. I'm only gonna put 7 quarts in it. It takes 8, but I'm only gonna put 7 because it doesn't, usually blows it out if I put 8, and I already put cam guard in it as well. So there's like 14 or 12 ounces of cam guard in it. So another quart of oil I think would overfill it. Okay, made a little bit of a mess. Some of the oil went on the ground from the oil filter. It is what it is. Put some kitty litter on it. Next thing's next. I'm gonna pull it out and run it so I can leak check it real quick. I'm gonna get my buddy Pete to help me with that. I can't really stand next to the engine with this one because obviously the propeller's on the back of the wing and you're not gonna squeeze through there. So I'm gonna do that, and then the last thing I have to do before I put the cowling on, I should probably do it after I put the cowling on, is I'm gonna cut this filter open and inspect the filter for metal and then sign off the logbooks, and we will be done. I've been here for several hours. Okay, the leak check was good, so let's go ahead and let's get this filter cut open. This is basically just like a can opener. Yeah, I'm recording. This is basically just like a can opener. You just thread it down, slowly but surely tighten this in here, and eventually it's gonna cut its way through. There's no need to rush. It'll cut when it's ready to cut. Might help if you take a socket as it gets to tighten down a little bit. Yay, look at that. All right, now I'm gonna cut this element out of here and I'll stretch the element out. It's gonna sound weird. I always smell the oil. I always put it in my fingers like this and smell it because I can smell just like things. Like if it's burning oil, if the rings are bad, you can usually smell it. It has like an electrical burn smell. If it feels really harsh and grainy, it's really dirty, could have some metal in it. It's just like there is benefit in sort of doing that, and it's just kind of one of those things that you get with experience, but it's one of those things I do every time. So let's cut this open. Now all I did was take a razor blade, you see it here, and cut along here, and then cut along here so that I can gently start pulling this element out. There ain't hardly nothing. Ah, that one broke already, but there you go. I don't think I cut it deep enough right here. It's all right. There we go. there was no metal in the filter to be concerned with, so that's always good. I didn't expect there to be. I'm gonna take some of this cleaner and wipe the aircraft down. This is actually something that the Beechcraft, the Bonanza owner, had put together. Pour one out for the bow. He finally sold it. But this is Aircraft Simple Green. It's mostly Aircraft Simple Green. And then it's like a little bit of Turtle Wax, wash and wax, like automotive wash and wax. And it works really good for, obviously the Simple Green works really well at degreasing things. And the wash and wax just kind of helps clean it up a little bit before you make that final pass with something like an Aero Cosmetics product. But anyways, good stuff. So I'll wipe everything down and put it back together. All right, putting the cowling on, I'm gonna do it the exact opposite of how I did it before. I'll set it on the box, I'll line that pin up, I'll shove it in, and then I'll put the screws in, which leads me to my last thing I'm gonna say in this video. When it comes to your screws, if you have one that's stripped, especially if it's the threads or even if it's just the head, just go ahead and replace it. Have some new ones set on the side, like bench stock, whatever, and just replace it. You're just making more work for yourself the next time if you don't. That is going to do it all for this video. This airplane is finally back together. The oil change is finished. I did the logbooks. No, I didn't show that because you can see my full legal name and A&P certificate number on there. But my logbooks, I always do bullet points. So I'll put the date, I'll put the takt time and total time, which on this airplane is the same. And then I will say ran engine to warm oil, drained oil, removed filter, cut open, inspected for metal, none noted, installed new filter, CH48108-1, serviced with 7 quarts of Phillips XC20W50 and 12.6 ounce of cam guard, and then I post-ran engine and leak checked, no leaks noted. This engine is returned to service for the work performed, my beautiful signature and my beautiful A&P number. Now, this is an experimental, so it's a little more loosey-goosey. On a certified aircraft, I'd probably put what chapter of the manual that I did that in accordance with. For example, I put that I performed an oil change in accordance with either the airframe maintenance manual chapter 2, whatever it is, or the engine maintenance manual, whatever it is that I'm using for that. But that's going to do it all for this video. I need to get home and get this edited and put together so I can put it up on YouTube for my tens of viewers waiting on bated breath to see this. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And as always, go build something and be easy.